All right, Theresa. Would you go down?
Sorry,
I think that's so great because that's like
self-employment.
That's self-employment in a nutshell. I love it. All right, let's get started by you telling me like your elevator pitch. What is it, like your name? And what is it that you do? Your business name and what you do.
Okay, my name is Theresa. My business is Tim Interiors, and I'm an interior designer. And my business pitch is that I create authentic, tailored spaces. So that could be residential, that could be commercial. It's just making spaces that reflect the people that live in them and are tailored in design.
Perfect. You are an interior designer. The question number one is, can an item hold memories? And if so, are we owning that, or are we owning something more than a fabric?
Oh gosh, that's such a good question. Of course, yes, absolutely. And so when I come in, like most of my clients, I don't know them, right? They're strangers. So when we go through their things and talk about things, that's one thing I'm doing is like, okay, that's just an object they bought. This is something that has something to them, and you kind of sort through and you get down to like, oh, these are the things that hold something and mean something. And you can tell pretty quickly of what is that versus, oh, I just picked that up at, XYZ store. So yeah, 100% they hold memories.
And then would you say that the things that hold the memories versus the things that don't, is there a different frequency or a different energy?
It's just like hollow. It's just like nothing.
Yeah.
It's like it has none if it does not have it. Does that make sense? Like if something has a frequency to it, then that means there's something there. If it just feels like an object of nothing, then it's like, okay, this has no frequency, no nothing. It's just a thing.
Has there ever been a time where you have had to design an entire room around an item that had a frequency, or it was an item that was like non-negotiable? They had to keep it because of the energy that attached.
There's always non-negotiables for sure. Absolutely. And I ask for it because sometimes people don't know where to start with the home renovation, and most renovations I do are like large scales, the whole home. And I'll say, show me anything. It can be a picture of something on vacation. It can be an object. It can be a piece of art, anything. Just show me something that holds some value to you. And it's my job to turn that into what we need it to be in the space. But yeah, absolutely.
So you tend to find some sort of object that has meaning to the client and use that as the anchor point.
It can be, absolutely, yeah. And sometimes the house itself is that. Like, this property means a lot to me. This property, they know the history of it, they know. So sometimes the anchor itself is the building, holding, and that client can feel all the past memories and things that house held. And they have little trinkets of, the past owner gave me this photo, or they gave me this doily, or what, they have parts and pieces from, because most of what I do is historic homes. So they have these parts and pieces from the past owners. Yeah, absolutely.
That's really cool. So this is a question I'm going to ask you specifically, not everybody else, but new renovation or historic renovation? Like new build or historic renovation?
Is like my favorite? Oh, my heart loves historic properties because you already have a client in that house. So new construction is wild because it's just like we can do anything, and the land can really speak to you. Like you helped me with a project where it was just a field, and so that's very special because you're pulling from the land and trying to get inspiration for how you position the house and all these things. So I always, whenever I get on a new construction project, I'm always reminded how much I love them and that they are very cool. But when I walk into a historic home, 100-year-old home, it just hits my gut. I'm like, oh, this is amazing, because you just feel all that history and you imagine the people who built it 100 years ago standing in that same spot. And yeah, it's a client in itself. It's a stewardship. You are representing those people as well.
I think that's so cool to think of the house as the client.
Yeah.
So, the original question was, can an item hold memories?
A house can hold memories. Yeah. They do. Yeah. That's the thing. I've never walked into a historic home and been like, oh, this has nothing. No. You know what I mean? Like every historic home, every home that's 100 years old, you walk into and you feel it because it holds, and when that last homeowner takes out all their stuff, it doesn't matter because the house still has its feeling. Absolutely.
how do you, in that kind of a situation, how do you marry the energy of the house with the energy of the new occupants?
Yeah, it's like there's three of us. You're hiring me for my eye, so I'm part of the equation. There's a homeowner, and then there's a house. So it's those three things, finding a common ground. And it's different for every project, but you just find that lane where all three of those things overlap. Because my part is to bring something that's tailored, that the scale, proportion, the design elements are correct. That can be modern, that can be traditional, it doesn't matter. But the classic elements of design that have been used for thousands of years in fashion, clothes, everything, that's my part that I need to bring to make sure that we're doing this the right scale, the right proportions, and that type of deal. But then you interview the client, and then the house speaks for themselves, and you'll just find a silver string that kind of connects all three, and that's the road you go down. Just different every project.
Yeah, I love that. All right, next question. What is the relationship between external success and internal fulfillment?
That internal, you can sometimes cheat with the external, right? Like, this is externally successful, and you can kind of absorb that and be like, oh, that's cool. But that's not every project, right? Like, there's plenty of projects that were very fulfilling that I'll never put on my website, or that will not be published, or anything like that. So it's like almost like a cheat when it comes from the external. But internally, it's like we just make these deep relationships with the client and the space, where you spend a year or two in them, and you build something that wasn't there before. And that thing you build, that trust, trust is a big part. I always have that moment like, oh, this client trusts me now. Like, they've let me in. Like, they really trust me. Like, that is so rewarding. And that is not reflected in a post story, published photo or anything like that. It's like, so yeah, you can kind of cheat with the external stuff, but that's not, that connection you make with homeowners. And I always feel like everyone has a sense of style, even though people say they don't. They do. They just haven't spent time cultivating it. And I always say creativity is a muscle. So like, I get to take, a lot of people who hire me either think they aren't creative or they don't have the time to be creative. And like, they hire me to help do that for them. But I think the trick in the end is like, oh, I'm not going to do it for you. You still have to do it. This is your house. It's got to look like you. And we work together creatively. And it's like, oh, this is you. You figured out your style, your creativity. And like, I'm just pulling it out of you and helping you do it. And I think that's crazy rewarding.
What do you think makes you authentic in your business?
I'm always guided by my gut and what I think is right for me. And I don't typically get flustered with other people's emotions and happenings, because building a home or remodeling a big remodel is very stressful. It just is. It's expensive. It is. I always say people had a very busy life before they took on a big remodel. And so we're taking a very busy life and we're adding something huge to it and very expensive. That's stressful. So I think for me, it's like I'm able to understand that and guide without riding the roller coaster of remodeling myself, that I can like be an anchor, and like, if we're the right fit for each other, then I can be that calm in a crazy storm for you and be your advocate. I feel like half the time it's not even design, it's just me being an advocate, because I spend probably the most time with the homeowner than anyone else on the job site, face-to-face time. And so again, once we hit that point of like, oh, I get you, you trust me, then it's like, okay, I'm your advocate. I'm going to stand up for you in an industry that you don't spend any time in or know much about, and make sure you get what you want. And
outside of your relationship with the homeowner, how does your own unique voice show up in your business?
Like in my work?
Mm-hmm.
I think at my core, I'm kind of peace above all else. I am not a rock the boat gal. I'm a like steady Eddie gal. And I think that shows in my work, that you can be modern, you can be traditional, you can be bold, you can be soft, but there's gonna be a level of like a deep breath of like peace, of like, oh, this place is comfortable, like that. I think that through the different looks shows.
I love that. That's my experience of you. Let's see. Describe, let's see if I want to ask you this question. Okay, no, I don't want to ask you that question. What I want to ask you is, what is the role of naysayers in your life as a creative?
It kickstarts my stubbornness. It does. Like, and I think I'm a good listener. I think like I listen to the, like if someone has a negative, it's like, let me hear it and understand it. But if it has no legs or no real meat to it, it can go one of two ways. It's like, oh, hey, that's valid. You're bringing up a valid point. I'm going to take that. Or it's like, they're just being negative to be negative. It just makes me real stubborn and like, poor John.
Peace be gone.
He's not pieces, as me and my sister-in-law say. He's not pieces.
Let's see. Why do you do what you do?
I guess it brings me peace to like do what I feel is my calling. And I don't feel peaceful when I'm not doing it. Like, I have a hard time with like, what's your hobbies or what do you do to relax? Because it's like my work relaxes me because I know I'm doing what I'm supposed to do.
I love that. I think, side note, I think most creatives kind of feel that way.
Yeah.
You know?
This is the thing.
I do. Do I have any hobbies? My job is my hobby.
I know. I had a client ask me this winter, he's like, what are your hobbies? And I was like, hobbies? 3 small children in business. Like, I don't have hobbies. This is it. But this is it. Like, this is, you know, I saw Conan O'Brien speak once about like his purpose and like being on stage and whatnot. And he's like, when I'm like doing my thing, he's like, if I had cancer in my body, I feel like it would evaporate. You know, like I'm just so where I'm supposed to be. It's like the most healing thing.
So being in your authentic creation and your authentic flow of creativity is healing for you.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's where it's like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. You know what I mean? This is where I'm supposed to be. And that's a liberating, healing thing to, you know, the world is very noisy, but to be like, well, none of that matters. This is my lane. This is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah. Is authenticity discovered or remembered?
Discovered or, yeah, no, I think it's all there. I mean, I have such little kiddos, and it's like, they're 2, 3, and 6, like they are authentically themselves. They just come out that way in the right environment, you know? And I'm starting to see with the 6-year-old, like she is starting to be affected by trends and things that happen in the world. And so you start to see those layers get put on of protection or whatever, but it's like, it's just there. It's just peeling back the layers of what you're expected to do, what you think, you know, but no, it's there and it's in you. You just gotta like peel off. Like I always think the quote, like is love enough? And it's like, oh, you just need love. You just gotta peel off the other things that get piled on top. You just gotta clear it, you know, but the love itself is enough. It's when you load it down with other things.
Love is all there is.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just got to remember that.
Yeah.
When it's all said and done, what legacy do you want to leave?
I think if someone felt like they felt better after spending time with me than when they walked in, I think that's pretty darn good. Yeah.
What impact do you want to leave?
Just that the simplicity of being, I mean, my business's tagline is authentic, tailored spaces. And I feel like, you know, I had a client tell me recently, she's like, authentic has kind of been a buzzword the last couple of years. And she's like, I'm guessing you picked that long before it was trendy. And I was like, I did. And she was kind of talking about like, maybe, you know, because it is trendy, do you need to do something else? And I was like, it's just always spoken to me though. And that's how I feel about design itself. It's like, what you do might come in trend, but then it might go out. But if you keep doing the authentic thing, like, that's all that matters. Like, I mean,
does authenticity for you change? Has it changed over your life? What it looks like for you to be authentic?
No, I think it gets layered on top of, and then you have to unlayer that. But no, I don't think so. For me, authenticity has always been the same. Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Okay. What was there ever a time when you were ready to quit? And if so, why didn't you? And how did you move forward from that space?
My husband opened his own business right before I opened mine. So I got to watch him go through the struggles of opening your own business, and watching and learning is like a really amazing tool. And like, man, that guy never gives up. He never gives up. He just bobs and weaves, figures something out. And that's very inspiring to me. And I went to him one day and I was like, I think I'm ready. And I was nervous because it's like, he has his own business. We don't both need to be like starting something from scratch with variable incomes. Like, how silly is that? And so I said to him, I was like, I think I'm ready. And he said, I've been waiting for you. Come on, of course. And I don't know. I thought that he saw it maybe before I did was pretty cool. And then I got to watch him and learn that, like, we always figure it out. You know what I mean? Like, yes, this is stressful, but we always figure it out. So watching him, and I think I am a pretty big observer, so like watching him go through that gave me the confidence of like, okay, well, let's do this. What's the worst that could happen? Broken your parents' basement, 3 kids.
Oh my God. I love it. All right, you ready for some rapid fires?
Yeah.
Ready right up top of your head.
Okay.
Your house is burning.
Uh-huh.
What's the one item you save? Assuming all the kids.
I was going to say.
Yeah, living beings are out and safe. What's the one item, the physical item that you save from your phone?
I don't think I would. I would see the physical kids out. I'm like, we're good.
Okay. Number 2, what song is the soundtrack of your life?
Better Than by Lake Street Dive. Whenever I am like in a mood or like getting a little grumpy, my kids will be like, hey Google, play Better Than by Lake Street Dive. And I do. Or like if I'm like getting overstimulated, I'm like, guys, we're going to have a quiet moment and we're going to listen to Better Than. And it's just like, it's like moody and I like it. Yeah.
Perfect.
Better Than.
All right. If you could only read one book for the rest of your life, which one would it be?
Oh, that's so tough because I read a lot, but I rarely reread a book. Think Again by Adam Grant. I often say it would be the one book that, like, if you could make the world read one book, that one is always one that I'm like, oh gosh, I wish everyone would read this book. That would be amazing.
Perfect. Who is your North Star?
Well, growing up it was always my parents, but my husband, he's my anchor, he's my protector, he's my guy.
What is one word or phrase that describes where you are in your life right now?
Authentic.
It's literally my business tagline.
Better or worse. Better or worse. So Michael and I say we're doing it ourselves our way, better or worse.
How are you a creative rebel?
So you and I have talked about this before because it's kind of funny because growing up, I was in high school and I graduated middle school in 99, so early 2000s. It was like everything was more edgy and like short shorts and bikinis and all these things. And like my rebelness is like, I've always been a 40-year-old lady. Like I always had a one-piece bathing suit. And like my college roommate would be like, we'd go out to a party and she's like, Theresa, put the damn umbrella and cardigan down. I'm like, it's raining and chilly. And she's like, no, umbrellas aren't cool. Like this is ridiculous. Like, so I feel like my rebelness is always authentic of like, that just like, oh, that's what's trending. We don't use umbrellas now. It's not cool to use umbrellas. Like this is ridiculous. Like being more, it's almost like being not conservative, but just more, I don't know.
I love it. Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, is there anything else you want to say, like that's come for you? Or you've been such a big supporter of me, and you're one of the first people that had texted me and said that they were listening to the podcast. So it is an honor to have you on.
The podcast is awesome. Yeah. I think it's like, well, the Think Again book I mentioned, like, it's all about people like learning how to talk to each other again, and like being on different sides of things and okay to talk about it, and like not trying to convince people to be like them. And like, especially motherhood is very comparison, like how do you do this? How do you do that? And it's, I think the podcast is a great way to like teach people to like get back to that.
Yeah, just get back to being curious, not being condemning.
Yeah.